Yo, Eagles Nation, stand up. Yo, how'd Barkley put it? Looking like another grease pole night in Philly. Facts. Hey. Episode 102, people. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, is what Meatloaf says. R.I.P. to that dude. We are Sans V today. She'll be back next week. She is being the adult of the crew today. So Justin and I are here
to be children.
Yes, to be children. So that's what we're doing. We've got kind of like a crossover today, Grease Pole Gear Freaks, and we're gonna do a little wrestling.
Yeah.
In today's episode too. So there is that. Loaded Gear Freaks episode coming at you too after this, by the way, which will drop tomorrow. Live over on YouTube if you follow the Gear Freaks YouTube page. I'm not doing good at English these last 5 seconds. But thanks for being here as well. Subscribe, all that good stuff. So Gear Freaks crossover segment, obviously. Birds came out with some new swag this weekend, dude. This is a thing that happened.
Okay, so before we get into the negatives, because that's all there is.
Right, though?
Let's swing the one positive thing that we know about this helmet is it is only for 1 year.
So, and it's weird, dude, because we wore last year the black pants against Denver, and we liked the black pants. The black pants were a nice look. I, like, full disclosure, hate the road whites. Can't stand them. Cheeks, awful gimmick. But I'm kind of tired of the black alternates, too. Like, it's not even that they look bad. It's just like, this is 2022.
Yes.
Not 2002.
Yes.
And it just, there's this weird theme now where the NFL's like, all right, you know, you can have more than one color helmet. So everybody's just like, let's all do black.
It's everybody.
Yeah. And it's like, what gets me, dude, is like, you can't have the Eagles helmet without green, dude. You think the Eagles, you think green.
Yeah.
You know, like
even if it's going to be your midnight green.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of the greens. It's got to be green.
It has to be. And it's funny because over time, the helmet itself has actually evolved to such a dark shade of green that if you see it in just the right or wrong shade of light, depending on how you look at it, they almost look black anyway.
Yeah. So what have you really done?
We've just said, fuck it. We're going to, let's just make the shit black.
Yeah.
Like, no, don't.
You know what would have been cool? Gray.
Dude, yeah. Like it. Go back to we rocked white helmets back in like the 60s. Do that with a green. Like, I don't know, man. I'm just tired of the blackouts, dude. We've done this for 20 years.
It's tired.
Yeah.
And it isn't creative anymore.
No, it's not.
It barely was then. It was just new.
Right.
And it was like, oh, cool. Like, that's different. I like that.
Yeah. We put all these effort into, like, because the Birds are not historically a team that takes a ton of chances gear-wise. Like, there's not a lot of alternates there going on. There's just not. 2010, like, we wore the Kelly Green throwbacks to honor the 50th anniversary of the 1960 championship game. Those were sweet, but there's not a lot really there. So it's like, all right, well, while we can, let's just lean into this just a little bit more. Like, just leave it all be until the Kelly Greens come back next year. Leave it alone.
If you don't want to be creative, then just don't have an alternate helmet.
That's it, dude.
Why have one?
Because we're allowed. Because if you're allowed to do something, naturally, you should.
I guess.
I mean,
well, then why not bring the Kelly Greens this year?
That is exactly.
You already announced it.
Yeah. Well, we got to wait till next year for the jersey for whatever reason.
Okay.
It's like we couldn't have had this ready. Jeff Lurie was like the owner that petitioned the league, like, for this. He's our owner.
Yeah.
You didn't have this in the vault just in case?
No. But
you know what? We do have black helmets.
I don't know, man. The only teams that should be doing black, like, I feel like, and we'll talk in depth about the helmets themselves, but like speaking in just uniforms in general, the only teams that should really be doing any kind of black, like the Panthers, can get away with black. Number one, it's kind of always been there,
right? They rock black jerseys regularly, so it's like, okay, cool,
makes sense. This is fine. The Panther is black anyway, cool,
right?
The Raiders, they can rock black because the silver and black, that's their colors. Where is black in anything but the outline of the Eagles?
I've asked myself this question for the last 72 hours, friend. And it's weird because they put out this thing, like I got an alert a few hours ago on my phone, like, available.
Nah.
And I was like, I probably should, but I'm not gonna.
Why? Like,
because I'm weird. Like, I feel like I'm contractually obligated.
Yeah,
like, it's like,
but you're not.
No, I'm not. I need
next year. Save the pennies for next year.
Yes, exactly. Like, because I'm just gonna load up. Like, when the Kelly Greens come out, though, watch out, because dude, I'm going nuts.
Unless the team stinks.
Yeah, I mean, which entirely possible.
Yeah,
but I'm just like, man, I don't know, dude. Like, these will probably be a novelty years from now, like when the Flyers wore pants in 82, 83. But it's like, I just don't. I don't even hate them. I don't even think they're like awful to look at. They're not aesthetically unpleasing. Like, V was like, I actually kind of like them. I'm like, they're not. I don't hate them. They don't make me want to vomit. But it's just like, I can't.
It's the Eagles.
It's got to be green. At least. Here's the thing. If you're going to do it, at least make the goddamn wing green, or at least outline it in green. There has to be a green there.
Green somewhere.
There's got to be. Make the cage green. And instead of it's just all black and like, so now you're going to eliminate the one color that is the most important out of the team's color scheme. The team that it like identifies with it. The specific shade. We brought back, nobody else wears midnight green. Jeff Lurie brought it in just for us. I want to rebrand. And now, no, black and white's good.
Come on.
The fuck, dude.
Come on. The NFL finally lightens up and says, you know what? Multiple shells.
Yeah, go have fun.
Cool. Have fun.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, all right.
We'll do black.
We've been waiting for this.
Yeah. We've been waiting for 2003 all over again.
And
like, when everybody decides, even teams that don't require have black helmets, get black helmets.
Just a bummer.
I
saw that and I was like, oh. I mean, I don't know what I expected, but I also was
maybe
not
a little more variables in color. Yeah. I don't know why I couldn't get that word out. But dude, it like, come on, man. And the thing is, like, knew this was coming, and I don't know what I expected. I don't know, because I like Black Eagles helmet. You know the helmet's not going to change, so it's simply in your mind. You go, okay, the green's going to be black now. Kind of hard to not get a visual of that.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay. Then they come out, and I'm just like, Somehow I was hoping that my head pictures were lying to me and that it would look cooler.
Yeah.
But wait, it's exactly what I imagined. It's not offensive. It's just
there.
Why?
It's just there.
Why?
And I guess part of it is my weighty expectations weighing it down, so that's not fair. But at the same time, this is kind of what the franchise has built itself on.
Yeah.
Is green.
Yeah. This dude, I mean, even before Jeff Lurie bought the team, like it was green, but he rebranded it with the midnight green.
I mean, like, I was half joking about the gray before, but at least gray was present as part of the uniform at one point.
Dude, I'd be good with gray. It's something different. Like, my thing is, honestly, like, I think you could have saved the helmet if it had just a shade of green.
Yeah.
Whether it be the outline, whether it be to make the whole, I think the whole wing green would have been excessive. Make the cage green. I think the outline would have been perfect. There's something there. There's a little nod. It's like when Tampa had the shot clock numbers and they did the little creamsicle orange right here. It's an homage.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked fucking terrible when they did it.
Yes.
But they tried.
That's it.
Let's try 9 shades of color on our uniform that has alarm clock numbers anyway. Like, What are we doing? Thank God they abandoned those quickly.
Yeah, and thank goodness the creamsicles are coming back next year as their alternates.
Yes, dude.
So
yes.
But again, like, what's the hold up? Why next year? I don't get it.
I mean, just to fuck with us, just to tease us. I mean, this has only been going around. There's only been a petition going around online for like 10 years. I signed that thing, by the way. So, and like, that's the whole reason why Jeff Lurie, like, hey, I'd like this as a rule to, whatever. That's the whole reason. So naturally it makes sense when it goes through to not have them ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, dude. They drive me nuts. This season, OTAs haven't even started yet. We talked about the Flyers last week.
Yeah.
It's like, here we go. Here we go. We're ramping up this shit season.
First Eagles news is, well, you fucked up the helmet.
Yeah. Here's black. And you're like, oh.
Cry.
I thought I wanted the midnight green to go away.
But maybe that's what this is. It's like softening the blow. Like, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, dude.
Here's black.
Don't know what you got till it's gone. You're like, no, I'm not ready for it to go yet. I don't know, dude. It's then it set in. It was like, okay, so we've got about another 8-9 months to see what until we know what the Kelly greens look like.
Yeah.
Are they going to be like a complete like refresh like we've seen other teams do, or are they going to be like, we're going to tweak some stuff? So I don't know. I like to see like a modernized version of it, just to kind of, let's do something different.
Yeah, well, but you can't just go back and do the same thing. That's the one thing that's been working, is the modernization of the retro look.
Yeah, dude.
Is bringing it to 2022 and being like, oh, cool, that's neat. I like the way you did that.
Right.
So I don't know what that is, like, if that's a combination of, the wing, like, because I feel like there's a difference in the Randall Cunningham wing versus the Donovan McNabb wing.
There is.
Maybe you're bringing the McNabb wing to the Kelly Greens or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think the wing itself looks better now.
Yeah.
Like the Randall Cunningham and Kelly Green wing was cool, but the wing now looks way cooler. You got an outline there. I mean, it did before too, but it's more of a dope looking wing now.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Eagles fans have been saying that for years. You can even leave the jerseys the same. Just bring back the shade.
Yeah.
Even leave the number fonts. I'd rather see the number fonts change, because if you leave everything the same, that is lazy as fuck. But like I don't know, man. I don't know.
Something's got to change.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. But we'll find out in like April of next year.
Yeah. In the meantime, black helmets.
Yes. Yay.
At least it's only 3 games too. That's the other thing.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, why?
Did they already pick the 3 games that they're wearing them in?
Not that I saw, but it'll probably be like we played. It'll probably be like for a Jacksonville game. This is random shit. I don't. One of them one of them will probably be. Oh fucking Christ! Okay, so I bet you right now what one of them will be. Mark my words. Week 2 prime time at the Link, home opener, Monday Night Football against Minnesota.
Mm.
That'll probably be it, because they like to roll the blackouts out at night, because it's when they play it at nighttime, it's dark outside, so that's black uniform time, because blackouts at night. And yeah,
Contrarian V, she likes them.
I know she comment I don't hate them. It's just I wouldn't say our helmet's iconic, dude. But I think it's got an identity.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can fuck with it.
No.
Leave it green.
That's a great point. I don't know where I would rank it, but it would have to be probably in the top 25 of all time. Like, I mean, high enough to be like, don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
But like not so high that it's like untouchable.
Right, like it's kind of costumey in a way, but then I mean, so is like the Bengals helmets the same way.
Yeah,
that's definitely costumey.
Yeah,
but it makes them unique too. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, man. I think a black helmet works too. Like a black helmet looks good, but it looks good for like the Ravens. It looks good on the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look good for everybody, dude. It doesn't.
Yeah.
As we'll discuss in Gear Freaks.
Yes.
So yeah,
Lots of that.
A lot of gear talk to come. Yeah, because we just took a Wayback Machine trip to 20 years ago in high school over the weekend. So there's that. The birds reveal black helmets, and we're trying to figure out why the hell we're still doing black alternates. Big wrestling news over the weekend. VKM out as WWE chairman, which yeah, dude. Quick thoughts on that? It's fun times.
Yeah, it's double-edged. Because number one, is it the end times? Because
right.
I thought he was gonna die.
Yeah, me too.
Now clearly it's because of, the scandal. Like at 77, he's like, okay, I can't do both.
Right.
And I'm glad that he had somebody go, yeah, just, you gotta bow out, man. Like you gotta get the fuck out of here. And I'm glad that he was smart enough to do that.
He didn't have a choice though, did he? Especially being publicly traded now like that. If they weren't publicly traded anymore, this probably would have been swept under the rug like everything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is gross.
Yeah. And this is very difficult because the gross things he's done. He's done these gross things on television.
Yes.
But at the same time, like he's responsible for me enjoying wrestling. Like, yeah, I don't know how to manage the two.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I'm totally that douchebag that would argue like he kind of had a hand in ruining it, but it's also like you can't argue with the fact that he's the most successful promoter. Yeah, like you can't. That's inarguable. And I fucking hate the guy. Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. Yeah,
So it's. I mean, again, for me, being from the North, like being a WWF guy. Yeah. I mean, he's the one who put it in my face.
Grow up with it, right?
So it's like, without that, I'm not a wrestling fan.
I kind of hope they get back to, though, and again, I don't watch it like I used to, but I hope they get back to, I don't know, man, more of a realistic vibe.
So, here's the things that are pointing towards that. Number one, the rumor mill 2 weeks ago, even before Vince stepped away, was that at least Raw is going back to TV 14, which is a step in the right direction depending on what you hope for out of the programming.
I'm with it.
I think for Raw, like it would be helpful because 3 hours is a sludge fest, and if you can be a little bit more racy, I think it'll help. Even if you just do like they used to have the Warzone back in the day or whatever it is. I mean, there was no noticeable difference then, but something like that. Make your last hour that or whatever. Because I mean, some of those 3 hour nitros, cheeks. Oh yeah. By the time they went to 3 hours and 99,
how many Mike Enos and Kenny Chaos matches can you watch?
Yeah, no thanks. Pass.
Yeah, right.
The other thing was they announced today that Triple H is going to be taking over creative. So.
Man, he lucked out, huh? He played his card smart.
So if you never watched like Black and Gold NXT, then you don't know what to expect. But I did.
I mean, I've heard nothing but good things. Overall,
from what I can gather, a little bit more creative freedom for the wrestlers,
which is good.
Always a good thing.
Yeah, you can't nobody like if. I've never been in a fight in my life where somebody comes up and hands you a paper and goes, here's what you say to this person you're about to engage in.
I mean, like there's so many good talkers right now. So many good talkers. And, the really great talkers already have the freedom and you can tell.
Yeah, because it feels real, I can imagine.
So,
which is supposed to be the beauty of it. That's the beauty when done right.
Yeah. If you let everybody kind of have that, and sure, there's going to be people who go out there and bomb, but then they're not ready for it.
Sink or swim, dude.
So what's
right?
I'd rather somebody go out and bomb than somebody go out and have some stilted promo.
Yes, exactly, dude.
That isn't, I get what you're trying to do, but also it's not doing what you hope it, what you think and or hope it is.
Right.
I mean, it's weird again because overall I've enjoyed the product.
Yeah.
But it's definitely no longer must watch.
Right.
SmackDown still feels must watch, but Raw hasn't been. There was a good period right after Mania, I feel like, where I was like, oh shit, like really, this is good.
Yeah.
And then
you always have that coming off of Mania, though.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's like, maybe this makes it must watch again.
It's going to take time to go into effect. One of the things I'd like to see is, like, can we not, and this is just, I mean, I don't know, but like little things, like everybody's not a superstar. You can call them wrestlers. You can call it a belt. Call it a hospital, not a medical facility. Refer to them as straps, championships, whatever you want to call them. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. They're fans. They're not the universe. Like, it just that
branding.
Yeah, dude. Like it I could do without that. Like, if those types of things start being changed, even that for me would be like, whoa, okay.
Well, that's the funny, like, again, speaking to like the people that you can tell have the creative freedom. When Cody came back, every other word out of his mouth is wrestler.
Hell yeah.
And so it's like, and he doesn't do the thing where, oh, I said wrestler. He just does it.
Yeah, naturally. Well, he's Dusty's kid, so yeah.
But like, the thing I've always said, and like this should be even more so now, is I remember people saying really early, like legends doing this. Edge specifically on the ENC pod used to say, it's always better to ask for forgiveness.
Yes.
Just go out and speak your heart, and it will work.
Better to ask forgiveness and permission.
If it doesn't work, then you take your ass chewing and you figure it out.
Right. You go from there.
But the chances is it'll probably work.
Yes.
And if it does,
you're made. Yep.
And now these decisions won't be Vince's anymore, but like Vince, you talk to Vince through money.
Yeah.
If you're about to make him money,
he's good. Austin 316.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I'm curious. I'm going to give it a couple weeks, and I'm probably going to give it a shot just to see. I would love for them to reel me back in, dude. I grew up a huge wrestling fan. Like, I would love, like, pull me back in, please. I loved when I was into the NWA a couple years ago, and then COVID happened, and I stopped giving a shit because I lost everybody.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yep.
So, yeah, Aldis is still there, but who else? So I don't even know anymore. Murdoch, but
yeah.
Everybody else kind of left, and it's like, all right, so I'm like
Cardona, but he got hurt, so he had to relinquish the title. But Cardona's on some Cardona shit. Like, I can't believe how awesome he's been doing. Like,
yeah.
And when I say that, I mean that as somebody who's looking from afar, because I haven't seen any of the stuff. I can see that he's out there making a name for himself and like doing the damn thing.
Hard to hate on him,
Go do it.
Yeah, go do you.
And like he's very much playing on, WWE was my creative, like WWE was my training.
Right.
And he's going out and he's just, and of course he's trying to get back.
Yeah, of course. Good for him. I'm not mad at anybody.
I wanted to hate on him, but because there was plenty to hate on.
Right.
But he got released, and instead of sitting around crying, he went and fucking worked his ass off.
Yeah.
But that's conversations for a different day and a different program.
Yeah. I wanted to get your thoughts really quick because I'm geeked when I saw that. Like, it's obviously the whole backstory is just fundamentally gross, but it's like, you know what? You kind of have waited for this day for a while, and it's like you earmark it for like, maybe that's when I'll give him a chance again.
Yeah.
And now that it's happened, like, okay, the clock's ticking. Maybe I'll give him another go.
So Steph is in charge, and then
I get it though. I guess I also hate Triple H.
Oh, okay.
I was one of those dudes.
I character or Paul Levesque.
Him as a human being doesn't seem terrible. I think he finessed his way into this spot, though. I think if you probably, not that I care, but I think if you probably ask him, do you really love Steph? He'd probably,
I mean, at this point, I'd imagine 20 years in, like.
Oh yeah, but I don't think it started with great intentions.
Maybe
now
not.
It's probably, which I don't care. It's their lives,
Yeah.
But I view him more as a politician than like WWE, Vince and them, like Triple H, he's not on the Rushmore. He was like, he got a shit ton of heat, but
What's funny about Trips is I agree. I don't think he's like a Rushmore guy. I don't think but like it doesn't work without him. He's one of those guys. Like he wanted so badly to be Ric Flair. He's not Ric Flair.
Yes.
But like he is critically important to the business. Like his character is critically important to at least WWE.
It is. I just always I never viewed him as like the same tier as like Austin, Rock, Undertaker. Like he's a tier 2 guy. To me.
He's right there. Like he's, Angle would be right at that next level.
I love Angle.
Angle rules.
Yeah.
But that's where Trips is. Like right around there. Like it's funny, as time goes on, Trips might eke into my 10.
Okay.
He has the matches.
Right.
Like it's just you have to kind of get over, because he kind of plays this pompous windbag dick the entire time.
Yeah. And then he pulls out the golden shovel and buries people. It's also really hard for me to get over him and Sting at Mania.
Oh, yeah.
That
not his call, but yes.
No, I know, but that was one of the few, like, especially adult me, where I was like,
I don't get it.
Like why?
You bring back Sting just to... I mean, I also get it, because Vince wanted to...
Petty as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like...
This is WCW taking one more L.
Yeah, like, we get it. You won, man.
So.
Good for you. But, yeah. It was fun to watch Vince take an L. It was very fun.
Yes.
I'm glad. I like when pieces of shit go down in flames. It makes me very happy. We like drafts here on the pod, and since we've been doing late WCW to rest on the hashtag WrestlePals,
we gotta get the July one.
We do. Shout out to Curtis, the third guy that is doing.
He's the third man.
The third. That's a perfect way of putting it. Actually, I should have. That's better than the third guy, because that makes him sound like a third wheel, which he is not at all. Shout out Curtis. Would you like to draft WCW pay-per-views really quick, since we do drafts here on the pod?
Yeah. So when you say WCW pay-per-views, are you talking year specific or just event?
I was thinking just the event.
Just the event.
Just the event. Yeah.
Okay. So are we doing?
I had in mind like when they kind of went to 12. I mean, it could be anything, I guess, but like late 90s Monday Night Wars, like the boom period. Because this was the fun period for me. Like, I've always been curious, like, how these things stack up for people.
Yeah. Okay. I know I might be reaching here, but if I don't take it here, there's no way I get it. And I have to, because of the set, because Jericho and Guerrero happened here. I think Guerrero and Mysterio happened here. I got to go Halloween Havoc.
Damn it, man.
I have to.
Such a good fucking call.
Because it's, again, is it a number one overall pick? I don't know, but also it's a safe choice.
It is. That was one of the ones, that's one of my favorites. Like you were saying, it's the set alone. And that's one of the underrated things about this conversation. WCW had the best looks for their pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. I know most of them came from Tupelo, Mississippi, or Baton Rouge, or, Moline, Illinois, or wherever. Mm-hmm. But they had the dopest sets. Everything looked so cool. Every event felt different, which is not the case now, where just the entire budget gets thrown at Mania.
Yeah.
Everything else is just
SummerSlam.
Like,
SummerSlam's in stadiums now. And
okay.
So is the Rumble, actually. I think Survivor Series may have been. They were trying to get Money in the Bank in a stadium this year in Vegas, and it doesn't have the juice yet. It was on the same weekend as an MMA event in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
So they had to go to a smaller venue.
Yeah. They're not overtaking UFC in Vegas. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it makes sense. They want to get, the Power 5 back. You know what I mean? Which Money in the Bank is the natural fifth one. All right, you want Halloween Havoc first overall. I'm gonna that kind of mucks up my strategy a little bit here. I'm gonna go with my first round of the pay-per-view from the month we're in now. We're on the end of July. Give me Bash at the Beach.
Bash at the Beach.
You want to talk about sets, dude?
Yeah.
Kevin Sullivan, Chris Benoit fighting, smacking each other with surfboards and shit. Like, I love that pay-per-view, dude. I love it. There was that weird year in 95 where they actually had it on a beach, like,
thankfully we were doing 96.
Yeah, dude. Like, once we got post that year, post lifeguard match or whatever the fuck that was, it got kind of cool for a few years. But yeah, Bash at the Beach always made me happy. It feels like summertime. It makes me think of McGuire, Sosa back in the day.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good times, dude. Give me Bash at the Beach.
This is going to be another reach, but this was like the second one I thought of, and it takes me back to like when I first got into WCW. It takes me back to, again, we talk about like looking different. And the NWO had just come on the scene, and hey, we're going to do our own show. I'm going specifically NWO Sold Out.
Okay.
Because like it was completely NWO. That the first one was completely NWO.
Yeah.
Which in the coming months would start to get aggravating.
Yes.
But at the time when they did it, it was like, oh man, that's cool. And like it even had a different look and feel.
Yeah.
It had different announcers. Like everything about it was NWO related.
Yep.
And it was like, man, that is cool. Like they are trying to take over this company, and here's them doing that.
Yeah, it made it feel real. It made it feel like a renegade company of dudes, because they had the NWO dudes. From what I remember vaguely, they would just have them commentating and just shitting on all the WCW guys. Yep. You know, and it was cool. It looked cool. The colors were all like the NWO was awesome.
Yeah.
When it first happened, and then you look up 6 months later and it's 9 limos,
yes,
full of dudes, and
Stevie
you're like,
Ray's there, and it's like,
yeah,
I like Stevie Ray, but why is he in the NWO?
Right. This makes no sense. You know, why the fuck is Vincent still around?
Yes,
you know,
well, to get beat up,
yeah, to eat pinfalls.
Yes.
All right, second round. I think. What do you want to do? 4 rounds, like a Rushmore?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Give me sentimental to me. This was the first pay-per-view I ever ordered, or not me personally. I convinced my parents to order for me. Give me Great American Bash. Speaking of summertime, the historical value there, a very, very aggressive America set. That would make people happy these days. At least a certain pocket of people. And it's sentimental for me. The very first 97 was the very first pay-per-view I ever saw live. It was on Father's Day, and it was Savage Page 2 when they had their feud going on at the time. And I just always, since that, it's one of those weird monumental moments you remember as a kid. Like you would always, when you grew up a wrestling fan, like you always wanted a pay-per-view, and you didn't have a job, so you had to convince your parents to buy it. So the first time you saw one live, you were like,
what?
Like, oh, this is nothing that will ever happen in my life will be this moment right here, my excitement. And then you figure out that 9-year-old you isn't that smart and doesn't have that much figured out. So that's not entirely true. But it was as fun as my life got at the time.
All right. So third round. I'm just doing some quick research here.
There's a lot still on the board.
Yeah. I got to go Starrcade here.
God damn it.
Because was it 97? That's where Hogan Sting happens?
Yeah.
Like the beginning of the end, essentially.
Yes.
Like the end of the greatest storyline in wrestling history. And I have no qualms saying that.
100%, dude.
Sting against the NWO is the greatest thing wrestling has ever done.
Yep.
And they mucked it up with the finish of the match, but like it was still salvageable.
Yeah.
It was everything that happened afterwards that fucked everything up.
Yep.
So just for the culmination itself, Sting and Hogan, Sting finally winning the championship off of Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Starrcade.
That should have been, that felt, dude, like 9-10-year-old me, that was like the biggest thing I ever thought was going to happen, because they had built to that match so perfectly. Just to, I mean, that literally, like, that had such a big fight feel to it.
Yep.
And WCW, being a WCW.
They have to.
And you're just like,
can't help themselves.
Yeah, you're like, dude, what the fuck, man? So, yeah, but that's the Starrcade was their WrestleMania. So it makes sense. Third round, speaking of dope sets, give me Spring Stampede. I always like this one.
Yeah.
I always like this one.
That's going to be my next one.
Very, very like kind of Western vibes, Southwest. This was all this for me. This always seemed like, and I don't have like every lineup in front of me. This always seemed like a very cruiserweight heavy pay-per-view. Like I think I remember Blitzkrieg and somebody having a really good match. Ultimo Dragon, who was my fucking dude, had a really good match with somebody I think in 97. Like. It's just it's not one of the huge WCW ones, but I always liked it. I always had a solid set, and it's a cool fucking name, Spring Stampede. So that's gonna be my third rounder for my squad.
I've got 2 here.
Same.
because I can't call on any matches is the problem at the top of my dome. I'm going to go Fall Brawl.
God damn it.
Because I feel like they shouldn't have been main eventing, but I remember like being hyped. I think it was Hogan and Piper at Fall Brawl 96, maybe. It may have been 97, but I know that was mostly Hogan Sting, leading to Hogan Sting. But there was a Hogan and Piper that was good.
Right.
I'm almost positive it was Fall Brawl.
I think it was too. And you also, with that, you get War Games.
Yes.
So value play. That's why Fall Brawl was the tiebreaker that I was hoping for out of the two. I had two left. I'm going to go with the other WCW gimmick pay-per-view. Give me World War III.
That was my other one.
I have to, just because it like at the time obviously you go to appreciate the Rumble as you get older, and I never like shit on the Rumble, but I was like, WCW is just so much cooler. You have twice the people in 3 rings, and then you're our age now, you're like adults.
Oh, it's actually a clusterfuck.
What a mess. What a mess.
You can't watch any of it.
Look at Cyclope out there, just sitting in the corner, like. It's just the cheeks match. It's terrible. And
Can't wait till we get there.
Yeah, dude. And the best part of World War III was, unlike the Rumble, where you build the anticipation for each wrestler to come out, World War III, their entrance was just bring everybody out of the back at once.
Yep.
And they're all just walking down. And like David Pinzer, the mic dude, is just trying to announce as everybody's walking down. You're like, why are you even bothering, man?
Here's Chris Jericho. Here's Blue Screen. Here's
and you're like,
El Dandy. Probably El Dandy's only pay-per-view appearance.
Yes.
All right, so I'll run it down. My overall number 1 pick was Halloween Havoc. You went with Bash at the Beach. I followed up with NWO Sold Out. You went with Great American Bash. Good summertime fun there.
Yeah.
I then went to the wintertime Starrcade. You went to the springtime Spring Stampede. And then we both went fall. My number 4 overall was Fall Brawl, and yours was World War III.
World War III.
That was fun. That both of our 4s, like, I was going to take World War III, and I was at the last second, I was like, let me go Fall Brawl.
Yeah, dude. It's weird because I was looking, I almost went Starrcade in the second when I took Great American Bash, just because of the value, but I was like, no. Yeah, because I don't, Starrcade's the value play, but it would have hurt more if Great American Bash got away from me. So.
That's how I felt about Havoc. I was like, is Havoc a number 1 overall? I don't know. Debatable. But if I didn't take it there and then you took it at 1, like,
I wouldn't have taken it in the first round, but I would have taken it in the second.
Yeah.
I would have taken it. That was very high on my radar. They tested really well at the combine.
I feel like Havoc is somewhere like a 3-4 overall.
Yeah.
So I had to reach.
But that's the thing, is if you know you want it.
Yeah.
Like that same, but with me, Bash at the Beach was like, There's some people that might be like, yeah, no, take that. But I think overall, probably, I had to have it. I had to. Especially after you went Havoc. Shocker, Road Wild didn't get paid.
Oof.
It's weird because
we went through Sturgis when we were on our way to Deadwood.
How was that?
I was like, let's not stop.
Yeah. Well, you guys are okay. You're white.
It's true.
But yeah, Harlem Heat was not.
They were not okay.
Yeah, dude. They it's weird because as a kid you don't pick up on those type of things, but I always loved like the outdoor shows, like the Spring Break Nitro. I love that. I don't know what it was about me as a kid, but I loved that type of shit.
Yeah.
So I thought Road Wild was cool, and then I became an adult and was like,
I can hear them.
Yeah. This kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And who thought this would be a good idea?
All you hear is the stupid motorcycles the entire time.
That's
it's like,
it,
oh,
dude.
God, I want to watch the wrestling, please.
Yeah. And then you find out like Bischoff just let them in for free. The pay-per-view didn't make any money except for the buy rates, and you're like, or concessions, and you're like, this is a fucking dumb idea.
Yes.
All because Bischoff
likes motorcycles.
His pretty ass wants to rub elbows with old racist Harley dudes.
Yep.
And you're like, this doesn't seem great business wise. Not that I'm a marketing expert, but I think this is pretty obvious.
It's just not a smart play.
Yeah. Opening match, throw the black tag team out there. And it's like,
these guys aren't happy about it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Probably not the tone center you wanted.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I love that type of shit. But they ruined it because that was the one where like Jay Leno was and shit, and it just became a fucking disaster, dude. Yeah. So, yep.
Road Wild.
This was fun. We miss WCW. We do. Those are fun times. I miss when pay-per-view sets used to fucking be awesome, dude. I know that's stupid, but like that. Like,
well, that's a cool thing about NXT 2.0, and they started this before they became 2.0. Is they started doing like the In Your House set and the Havoc set and stuff like that. It's cool. I mean, they don't do them as premium live events. They do them as like special editions of NXT.
I got you, but still, it's still cool to put effort into your shows, so shit feels different.
It looks different.
Yeah, it sets a vibe for people. You know, make us feel different is all we're asking. Make us feel nostalgic. So yeah, there's that. Birds have black helmets. Yay, popcorn fart. And we're going to go talk about more alternates now over on the Gear Freaks page. Follow us at Gear Freaks Pod on IG and Twitter. And subscribe to the Gear Freaks podcast page on YouTube. We're going there to talk about all the new NFL gear changes, including the birds. You can follow this pod at Grease Pole Podcast and subscribe as well on YouTube if that's where you're watching. Rate, review, all that good stuff. We will see you over on Gear Freaks. We will see you here next week. As always, go Birds. Yo, how'd Barkley put it? Looking like another Grease Pole night in Philly. Facts.